how to make your wheelchair higher. And that is an important question. However, not all wheelchairs can be made higher due to their construct. So sometimes manual wheelchairs are made in one piece and cannot be changed. Um, most power wheelchairs can be adjusted and made higher. But the question that I pose for you is it that the wheelchair needs to be made higher, or is it the footrest that needs to be made lower? I don't know. So it's an individual thing, and you really have to look at or reach out to a wheelchair specialist for them to check and see if your wheelchair can be adjusted and made higher. Or is it the footrest that needs to be lowered? Because you might be a taller person, and so the footrest can be lowered um, in most wheelchairs. I just had a member here where I live who was all cramped up. She's very tall, and so it was ridiculous how she was sitting. She had her knees all cramped up, almost in her mouth. I said, "This is ridiculous." So I had another member help me lower the footrest, and I think she's just fine now. She fits just fine in the wheelchair. So that's one way to fix it. But if you want most power wheelchairs can be adjusted to be made higher. There are some manual wheelchairs that are made in all one piece and cannot be adjusted. There are other manual wheelchairs that you will see in the back on the sides, that further back on the sides, that makes a lot of sense, that you can make it higher. However, my suggestion is that you find a wheelchair specialist to help you do that, because that has to be done according to your height. So it is not made, that adjustment is not made lightly. So they want you to feel comfortable in the wheelchair. And again, the question is, does the wheelchair need to be made higher, or is it the footrest needs to be lowered? So for you to feel comfortable. So that is how you will need to adjust or answer that question. Is it to make it higher or to make the footrest lower so that you fit and you feel comfortable? So if you're still in the position that it needs to be made higher, then my suggestion is you find a wheelchair user or someone who is very good at mechanics to make your wheelchair higher. And again, some cannot because they're made in all one piece. My power wheelchair still can be made a little bit higher. I'm pretty short, so so my wheelchair still has room to be made higher. However, the footrest can also be made lower. So I don't know what the issue might be in this particular wheelchair in which this question came up, but it's important to take that measurement again, and as for you to be seated and make sure that they took the measurements correctly and see if it's the wheelchair needs to be higher or the footrest needs to be lower. Could be either one. So, so find a specialist, because sometimes those nuts and bolts and those screws can be complicated, and I wouldn't want to misguide you and for you to make a mistake there. So find a wheelchair specialist to help you out, review those measurements, and see what needs to be adjusted. So that's the best I can answer. Again, not all manual wheelchairs can be adjusted. Power wheelchairs, for the most part, yes, can be adjusted. But not all manual wheelchairs are made to be adjusted, especially in the height area, unless it helps to adjust the footrest and make it lower. All right. I'm hoping that sort of answers your question in terms of how to make your wheelchair higher. So take care, and I hope to be out of this bed soon. Oy.